Scott Tranter here, Director of Data Science with our partners at Decision Desk HQ. Democratic strategist Kurt Bardella is along as well. I know what he's going to say. I'm going to start with you. Is there anything good in this poll for Joe Biden?
Here's what I would say the best thing for Joe Biden is. Your setup plays it very nicely. If you take all the numbers out, and you told me what those numbers were 10 years ago and said, who's the Republican and what is the Republican against him, I'd be like, the Republican's going to be above 50. None of those Republicans are above 50. Even Nikki Haley with a 6-point lead is not above 50. And so this is a game, and we're more than a year out from Joe Biden can still make a comeback. All those numbers aside. That is the best thing for Joe Biden is those are not good numbers, but he is still within range.
Yeah, it's a long time till next November, and I wrote the lead, so I should take responsibility for it. But I think I missed one critical error, which is sort of what Scott was making. How does he get a win between now and November? War in Ukraine is a stalemate. Tried canceling student debt. Green New Deal didn't happen. How does he get a win?
I think he gets a win by Republicans losing. I think that it's the same strategy we've really seen play out in the 2022 midterms and some of the special elections, that Republicans have a tendency to, rather than focus on the issues they can really win on, the economy, crime, things that the American people are overwhelmingly really concerned about, and there are real legitimate issues going on and failures going on there, they instead get caught in this trap of talking about relitigating the 2020 election. Like, I don't think that doing that is a political winner.
Right, there's abortion, there's all these other issues they get caught in. But here, okay, just as a political strategist, if the best you have is hoping that the other side screws up, that's not what you want to walk into the casino with, is it?
Well, in this case, the Republicans have shown over and over again that they are willing to screw it up. And it's like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? This is what they do. And if they're going to renominate a guy who's also going to be fighting for his freedom, relitigating things from 2020, that's also not a great message for Republicans when they could have a choice of anybody else, especially someone like a Nikki Haley, who can help neutralize the abortion issue, who can keep the conversation about anything but 2020. That's a much more powerful hand for Republicans to have. And I think it makes the case for why, no matter who the nominee is, their vice presidential pick needs to be a woman.
Look, it's interesting you bring up Nikki Haley's position on abortion, because if we look at what she said in the last debate and we look at what some of the ballot issues are going to be in the general election next year, that is going to be a wedge issue. It's a motivating issue for Democrats. We've seen how it affected this Ohio issue, one that was recently out there. We know it's going to be a ballot issue next year. She's staken out a more centrist position compared to her Republican counterparts. She's well positioned there. So is Tim Scott. Mike Pence taking the other route. There are a lot of good Republican candidates out there. And again, that CNN SSRS poll proves it. There's a lot of people within striking distance.
One thing that people have to, that can change everything is the economy, right? George H.W. Bush learned that. He was at 61, 62% in fall of 1991, similar time. And then he went on to lose. U.S. gas prices sort of their highest seasonal level in a decade, even as the summer driving season comes to a close. That's one poll. And Kurt, this is the tweet from President Joe Biden just a couple of hours ago. We're canceling all remaining oil and gas leases issued under the previous administration in the Arctic Refuge and protecting more than 15 million acres in the Western Arctic. Oh, I understand that works well with his base. I'm not sure, though, if you're having trouble buying groceries and you're having trouble putting gas in your car, if you're that concerned about polar bears.
Yeah, there's some truth to that. I think that, again, this is an issue that does play well with the Biden base. We talk about some of this polling. The weakness of Biden with the Democratic Party base comes out in this polling. And so, yeah, you kind of need to do some things to get your guys out there first. Like, in order to win the election, no matter what, you got to have your side show up in force, in mass. You got to give them things to show up for.
Shoring up the base right now, that's one thing if you're, say, Donald Trump or something who's trying to win the nomination. Joe Biden's an incumbent. He's not supposed to have to shore up the base. How much of this, Scott, do we see 66% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents don't want him to be the nominee? That's the other way to look at that 33% number. How much do we read this as Joe Biden is worried about, do we have the graphic? Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, no, worried about all these, right? You bring up the reversal of the leases. This week we've had some of the highest gas prices year to date, right? So that is certainly catering to the base, but you're doing it in the face of high gas prices. That is an issue. I think also, and we saw this in the NewsNation poll released earlier this week, we look at the types of candidates these Democratic voters want who say hey, we'd like someone else than Joe Biden. It's across the board. Gavin Newsom, it's AOC is in there, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders. The most interesting crosstab to me was we had Joe Manchin getting a significant amount of Democrats, but also a significant amount of independents and Republicans.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.